and we are talking to you right now from the EV Reality Check stage, powered by our friends at GreenCars.com. We are here to have conversations throughout the day. As you're walking on by, you can stop by, charge your phone, get a free t-shirt, listen in on some of the interesting things we're talking about when it comes to the world of electric vehicles. And right now, my name is Daniel Cohen. That's also my name at all other times as well as right now. And we are joined by my co-host for the day, Matt Teske, who's the CEO and founder of Chargeway. And Matt will tell us about Chargeway a little bit more in a moment. And we're going to be talking about Chargeway and about charging of EVs in general. So Matt, welcome. Thank you for joining me on the stage today.
Yeah, no, Daniel, it's been a lot of fun. I think we've been having a load of conversations here the last 2 days, but it's going to be fun to talk about Chargeway.
Well, tell us, what is Chargeway?
Well, for those who own an electric car, or if you're shopping for an electric car here at the Electrify Expo, Chargeway is a mobile app you can download on your iOS or Android device, and it makes EV charging as simple as Sesame Street. So instead of trying to figure out all the weird engineering and all the weird terms, what Chargeway does is it says, tell you what, you add your car to Chargeway, we're going to color code the plug types for you so you know where you can go by just looking at it. And then it shows also power levels right on the map, levels 1 through 7. So if you see a higher number, that means you can fill up your car faster.
Right. Well, that seems very wonderful. But just going back, so what problems were you solving there? Like, what did you see that people were confused about that you're looking to sort of cut through?
Well, I think the biggest challenge is that many people, especially people coming here to Expo today, if they're still driving a gas car, their understanding of how to fill up is they just remember one word, like regular or premium. And that's how they go fill up, and they've done it for decades. And so EV charging is different. It has some complexities to it, and it can be really challenging to learn those complexities. The engineering terminology is a little bit weird. You have to remember shapes of plugs, and it's kind of odd. And most of the platforms, if not all the platforms out there that show you where charging is on a screen, it's just kind of like a little generic pin on a map, and you got to figure out what works for your car. So with Chargeway, we just wanted to solve that problem. We wanted to say, just tell us what you're driving, and we will make the visualization of where you can connect using color and how long you'll wait for a charge based on once you've plugged in, how long your charge time will take using a simple number. So then you can start to remember, if I see a green 7, that's a 15-minute fill up. If I see a green 4, well, that's more like a 2-hour fill up, but I'm going to be at the beach all day. Why do I care? So if there's a green 4 there, perfect. So it's about navigating those options.
And so you have these screens around. There's one here. Is there another one?
There's one right here in line. So as you're listening to us, feel free to play with the Chargeway kiosk right here. You can start looking at the station map, change the car, and that really visualizes what we're showing. And this is everything you see here on the kiosk is what you're going to see in the mobile app when you download it.
So when you are, so if I have my car, I'm looking on the map. So when I was playing with it earlier, so one question was, it brought up a bunch of different charging locations with different numbers. So that's speed, right?
Correct. Numbers of speed. Yep.
But then what else? What other information can I get from that?
A lot. Yeah. So what we wanted to make was a high-level view of the map. Once you've chosen your car, you can just glance at the map. It'll remind you of your plug color of your car. Mm-hmm. It'll show you the plug colors on the map that match your plug color of your car, okay. So you know you can go there. And then from a number perspective, you just want to know exactly how long you'll wait, when you're charging at each location. And it's variable. So levels 1 through 7 are what you'll encounter in the wild. But there's a lot of level 2s out there, kind of similar to a home charger you could upgrade. Mm-hmm. But then on the highway, you want to know your fill-up's going to be faster. So levels 6 and 7, those are ideal for road trips.
Right. So we hear a lot about level 1, level 2, level 3 charging. So within Chargeway, level 1 is 1. Yep. Level 2 is 2. Yep. And then level 3 is 3 through 7.
Correct, yeah, because calling all fast charging level 3 is a little bit disingenuous because, frankly, the power can vary. These are what we call direct current or DC fast chargers. So the language that somehow got into the public vernacular via the industry was to just call all DC fast chargers level 3. And that means, though, you could wait as long as 4 hours for a charge at a fast charger or as little as 15 minutes and everything in between. As a driver, you want to know that, and that's what Chargeway's level system makes simpler to see.
Okay, so I'm looking on the map. I see 7 because I want a fast charge, right? So I click on 7. Now, you're talking about how long it takes you to wait for your charge. Another factor when it comes to waiting is maybe there's no charging stations available.
Exactly, yeah. So anytime you click on a station pin in Chargeway and it pops up, it's going to show you real-time availability for about 70% of the public chargers in North America. So once you tap the pin, it pops up the info at the bottom of the map. At a quick glance, you can see that's my color, that's the charge speed I want, and that's what my charging time is going to be. But then it'll tell you if the station is busy. If the station is full, it'll say busy station, and everything will be just kind of like sort of faded out for the plugs because it's telling you those are all in use. But it might say that there's 5 of 6 available, which means you can roll right up, plug in, and then your charge time is your charge time.
Excellent. And then, so I drive an EV, and I found when I've gone to public charging stations, using your app, using other apps, whatever, one of the things that's quite different from going to a gas station is that most of the time I have no idea what the hell I'm paying.
That's a good point. So one thing we actually just introduced in Chargeway is public charging pricing for about half of the public chargers in North America. By end of the year, we'll be to about 70-80% of those public chargers. And that visibility is key because there's no marquee that says, again, with gas, we're used to seeing $4 a gallon at every station. But with charging, you kind of have to dig into the info to find it. So in Chargeway, if you sign up for Chargeway Plus, it is a 30-day free trial, and then there's a monthly subscription after for about $6. It then gives you visibility into all of those public chargers' pricing, and you can actually adjust your battery inside of Chargeway to then show what your cost would be to charge based on how much energy you want at those stations. Once you tap that pin, it tells you the price right above the pin.
Well, that seems very convenient. So this is a new feature that you've just introduced?
Brand new feature. We've been working on it for a long time to get it to a point where we could organize a lot of that information from a variety of different data sources, a variety of networks, and then make it uniform in a way that a driver can actually use that actually makes sense.
I mean, just more generally, is it weird that it's hard to get this information?
Well, I think yes, it is. And I think part of that challenge is that we really don't have a lot of regulation around accessing electricity as a fuel type. So there's a lot of regulation around using gas for fuel, but to set up a charging network and to have people start charging with your network, you don't actually need to get through a lot of hoops there. You have to obviously have the hardware installed, you have to go through those processes, but if you set up your own mobile app for your own network, then you want people to use your app and you want them to see your information in your world. So it's very difficult for drivers to navigate that because there's about 70 public charging networks in North America, and we wanted to bring together a solution that not only showed where all the information was in one place, but also made it very easy to understand and see.
And is it fair to say that the information we see in Chargeway is kind of completely agnostic? I mean, that you're not trying to push us towards charging stations where you have a better relationship with those operators.
No, that's a great point. Is Chargeway by design is brand agnostic. So you can choose any EV you want, you can choose as many EVs as you want and add them to your account, and you can switch between cars to see how they charge. But then everything we show you on the map for charging is also network agnostic. We show you where everything is in North America. And again, that's almost 70 networks now. And there are certain networks obviously that have more robust information and a more robust footprint. So you're going to see more of those chargers and better information from them, but that's part of what we want to reveal to people is this helps them understand more clearly what they need to know at a given station.
I remember there was some talk when Rivian, I think, bought a better route planner.
Yeah.
There was talk then of Rivian having this new this measure of kind of reliability of charging stations. Is that something that is useful or that you're able to factor in as well?
Oh yeah, so I mean there's a rating system inside of Chargeway that's very similar to what people probably see on Amazon or Google. It's a 5-star rating system. They can leave a rating and then also leave comments on what happened with their experience, but they can also share that experience with Consumer Reports. So we partnered with Consumer Reports about a year ago to start providing information to another brand agnostic research firm to get better info collected about what's happening with networks so that we can in turn provide better feedback to those customers and to the public around which networks are doing the best, which ones need to improve, things like that.
And do you see that the charging operators are seeing that and responding to that, and it's sort of holding them to account?
So it's been fun. I mean, we've been in touch with the team at Consumer Reports on a regular basis, and they are getting contacts and feedback now from these networks that are saying, okay, thank you for the information. So what is it we need to know about what we might have a blind spot for? And that could be geographic related. It could be hardware related. It even could be vehicle related with a certain automaker's vehicle maybe having some kind of an issue. So all of that information is being aggregated through Chargeway. We're sharing it out through Consumer Reports, and then in turn, we're working with the industry to make it better.
So as you look forward then, I mean, have we solved charging?
Have we solved it?
Or are there other issues that you see ahead that that still needs more work, or that you have ideas about how we can sort of make the process of charging EVs easier and more approachable for people?
I think at a high level we could say that we're definitely headed in a better direction than we were maybe 5 years ago. So with all of the automakers and everybody saying they wanted to switch over to the Tesla plug type, which is now referred to as NACS, or the North American Charging Standard. I actually was happy to hear that because it's a very elegant design. It's the same shape plug you'd use at home and away from home, and it's also very small, which is really easy to use for everybody. So I love that as a direction we're going. The reality of it is we have millions of cars on the road that have different plug types currently. We have tens of thousands of stations that have different plug types currently. Each of those stations may not have the same power level that they offer. Each of the vehicles that are on the road, they request a maximum power level. All of those factors are still very real. So we're going to have to provide real transparency to drivers, whether they're buying a used or a new car moving forward, because adapters are a part of the conversation. That's something that's included into Chargeway. You can add your vehicle and turn on an adapter in the station filters to see where you can use adapters for other plug colors. So these are going to be important parts of the discussion for easily the next 10, 15 years or more, because EVs are going to be in market for a long time. They actually have a longevity to them. We were talking earlier to Stan from the New Jersey Electric Vehicle Association. He's like, I bought a 10-year-old EV and it's working great. So these are realities that we know are there still for charging. What Chargeway's really, our mission is to say is, you don't have to be intimidated by this. Our app and our software does all the thinking for you based on the car you've chosen. And then once you're in that world with the car you've chosen, we make it simple through color and number so you know what your experience will be.
Well, I mean, more power to you, because the simpler we can make this for as many people as possible, the better it's going to be, both in terms of promoting the sale of EVs and just improving the quality of life of the people who own them.
Well, I've been in the automotive industry my entire life, but why I founded Chargeway is because I love cars, but I also am very passionate about the fact that I love the environment. I grew up going camping as a kid. I was a Boy Scout. I went out all the time and enjoyed the outdoors. And I had this kind of competing idea in my mind of like, I love cars, but I know the way they work right now is actually damaging to this other thing that I love. And so I wanted to apply what I knew from the auto industry into solving a problem related to the climate and emissions and things like that. That's a passion of mine. At the end of the day, though, we wanted to make EVs something that everyone could fall in love with and enjoy, whether they were passionate for the environment or not.
Do you, just when it comes to ease of charging, so I mean, one thing that I've had in my mind, sort of a bugbear, is around plug and charge, which I think when it works, so for those who may be listening who don't know what plug and charge is, the idea is just like your phone, when you plug your car into the power source, it just starts charging.
Yeah.
And when I've used that, I kind of find it transformational almost, right? Just removing the hassle of having to play around with the screen or your phone or whatever. So is that something where, I mean, do you factor that in terms of the filtering, the information that you give within your app? But more generally, how do we make the whole process, beyond just finding the right charging stations, but the whole process just a better experience for people?
No, plug and charge, the promise of plug and charge is something that I kind of refer to, is it does work great when it works. And so brands like Tesla that had their own ecosystem of car and charging, they built that in from the outset, and that's why owning a Tesla for a long time was so seamless. A lot of the brands that now have access to Tesla superchargers, they also have the ability to have a plug and charge experience at a Tesla supercharger, but that's one network out of, again, almost 70.
And also I think it's not all the brands. Right?
And it's not all the brands. So one thing we're tracking inside of Chargeway is we're monitoring which vehicles have access to plug and charge at certain networks, and we're going to be including a new feature where inside of the station filtering, you'll be able to just hit a switch that says, just show me plug and charge only. Because then you'll know if you show up there, you don't have to do anything. You just plug your car in and you start charging. So that's a factor that we are already working on. But it really boils down to the fact that the plug and charge promise requires a lot of coordination in software from the automakers and from the networks combined. And well, there's over almost 70 public charging networks in North America, and there are dozens of auto brands. So we have a lot to coordinate with still as an industry, but it doesn't mean it hasn't improved a lot, because it has.
Well, good luck navigating through this this complicated maze. So, is there anything else you'd like to tell us about Chargeway?
No, I mean, really for us, I mean, if you own an EV right now, or if you are planning to buy an EV, you're shopping for one here at Expo, please download Chargeway. Go to the App Store, go to the Google Play Store, download Chargeway, add your EV that you own, add as many EVs to your account as you want if you're shopping for an EV. And our goal is to show you what your world will be like if you buy and drive that car. And it's so simple to understand how it works. Again, colors for plugs, numbers for power, higher number means faster charging. Inside of Chargeway, you can adjust the battery level of your car to then estimate your charge time at any station you click on. And if you do sign up for Chargeway Plus, you can then see that total cost of charge as well right on the map.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much for your time today, for telling us all about Chargeway. And everybody go download Chargeway right now. Sign up for the premium subscription. 30-day free trial. What are you going to lose?
I was going to say, it's meant to give you insights and make it easy. And again, it's not like it's cost prohibitive up front. You get a chance to try it out. So, and if you have questions, you can contact us right through the app. Click on your account screen, tap contact us. It goes straight to our team. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. Also go to chargeway.net. That's our website for more info.